In today's episode, we're going to be sitting down with Carson Storch, an acclaimed rider with a lot of wins, podiums, and cool trail builds under his belt. We're going to talk about a new deal he's got with Kubota tractors, what that's going to mean for him as a rider and trail builder, and of course, what that'll mean for you as a mountain biker looking to hit up some sweet new trails in the Oregon region. We've also got a lot of other fun topics we're going to discuss and learn a little bit about his goals, future plans, entrepreneurial spirit, and where he wants to be banished for the rest of his life. So thanks for joining us today. And as a reminder, the Loam Wolf MTB podcast is sponsored by Feedback Sports. So if you're in the market for a work stand or a tool, traveling toolkit that you can keep with you in your vehicle, make sure you check out Feedback Sports and hit the link down below for a discount. Let's get into it. All right. Well, Carson, thank you for coming by, man. I appreciate you taking the time. I think the first thing I want to chat about before we start talking about your upcoming trips and travel and stuff is the Kubota deal. I think that's a pretty unique thing that, I mean, I'm trying to think like way back to like downhill racing days when like Haro, would custom paint an Intense M1 and like athletes were riding Haros, but they were another branded bike. But yeah, I'm trying to like think back if there was ever like a pro athlete riding a bike that was painted from a brand outside the bike industry. Can you think of anybody?
I mean, the first person that comes to mind is Kurt Voorhees, and Palmer. I know they had like Specialized Mountain Dew, and they were kind of, the 90s, like the golden era, seemed like there was some outside influence there. But I'm stoked on it. It's definitely a different path. And, for me, it was like signing with Kubota in 2024. I was just like mind blown. It's like childhood dream. I grew up racing moto a little bit and just moving dirt, building tracks. And ever since, it's just became like a passion and then turned into like a second job for me now the past, many years. So yeah, it just kind of fell in my lap. Me and Dusty got invited to film with Pastrana for his YouTube channel 199, and like we came out of it with a Kubota deal because, one of the main people there, Beth, she was just there. We didn't even know who she was. We were just normal, just trying to be nice to everybody. And then she came out and she's like, "We love you," and we're like, "Holy shit! Can't believe this is real." So yeah, since then it's just been a really cool partnership, and going through last season, I was just, just came up with the idea of like, what if we pitched to Kubota like a title sponsorship, and, just opens up the door for, more building for me. And then financially, it just made more sense. So it worked out, and it's definitely different, but I'm just like, a big part of it was like keeping Kubota stoked because I just can't believe the deal, and it works so well with what I'm doing like on and off the bike. So yeah. Now, like coming from Kubota being a pretty big brand and obviously, not in the cycling or mountain bike industry, without getting into like numbers, I would imagine that like it's like what pro riders deal with from bike brands and industries, kind of like small fish, right? Like to like what they're used to doing on such a big scale. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like Kubota, for them, this is completely new. Like they have a NASCAR, which is crazy. And I think they sponsor a couple like World Rally Championship drivers, co-drivers. So they've like dabbled in different stuff, but this like full on action sports deal is definitely different for them. And I think like they're having to prove to their higher ups, like the marketing and how it works. And so it's kind of like a test year. But yeah, like, usually frame deals they're like your title sponsor, and that's how it's always been. They've always been my biggest deal, and it's just times are changing, and so it was just kind of a creative way to for me it was more focused on, it wasn't really all financial. It was more based on like, I want to be building more, but I still want to push myself in riding. Like that's still my number one focus. But I want to focus more on the building, and with everything going on at the Oregon coast with TORTA, Tillamook Off-Road Trail Alliance, and working with Josh over there so much with that. And then hopefully more stuff here in Central Oregon with COTA. We did the Winoga trail build last year. It went really well. So I want to, continue to like do more work here. So like for me, it's like a triple win because it makes Kubota happy because I'm running the equipment. It makes me happy because I'm moving dirt. And then I still get to ride my bike just like I do, just running the Kubota flag instead, you know? And for me, it's exciting to just have the freedom to try out different bikes. I've never done that since I started riding for Intense in like 2011 and then went Diamondback and then it's just gone, you know? So never really been able to actually ride different stuff. So I'm pretty stoked.
That's awesome, man. Sounds like a match made in heaven, pretty much. Give you a freedom and the ability to do more of what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Speaking of riding different bikes, did you happen to chat with Cam McCall, who recently came by for an episode?
No, but yeah, no. I don't know.
So we just published an episode a few days back, and we're trying to like figure out a way to create a little mini series of him because he's only ridden Trek bikes for 22 years, and have him like come on and help us with testing bikes and just like let him pick which bikes he's never ridden and what he'd be most excited to try out first, you know?
Totally. I mean,
it's such a neat perspective for riders who are like so much better than, you know, 99.5% of the world's population. And so many of them have only ridden like a couple of bikes.
Right, right. Yeah, no, I mean, Cam would be the perfect person for that. Like people, it seems like people forget that Cam, he's just as good as he ever was on a bike. Like just because he's not competing anymore and not like putting out as many film projects. Like that guy, he is, I don't know, aged like fine wine with his riding. And then obviously he's amazing at talking and his personality. So for something like that, I think it's perfect. And no, I don't know. It's just, he can rip still. Like Proving Grounds in 2023, like kind of held a little qualifier over on the coast on private land, and he probably rode the best out of everybody there. Wow. And that was 2 years ago. Like it's still there.
That's insane, man.
You know, hopefully something like that could like open the door for him to just, you know, focus on riding more, you know, like again. But yeah, anyways, sorry, a little off topic. I just wanted to give a nod to Cam. He's incredible on a bike still, and people tend to forget that really quick because it's social media and,
I know, man.
you know.
Crazy times, right?
Yeah.
So what bike are you riding first? Like when you kind of had that freedom to pick what you wanted to pick, what was the first thing that you jumped to?
First thing is Zink's Prototype downhill frame, which people might think is funny. Like I could choose like kind of anything I want, but honestly, like he created it for free riding. It's like a free ride downhill bike because nowadays, like most everything, it's either a trail bike that you put a dual crown on and they break. Like it doesn't matter what company, they're just not really made for it, and they all kind of break. They're kind of sketchy. Or, you know, the downhill bikes are like race bikes, you know, high BB and just high pivot, I mean, and longer ends, and you know, you can do tricks on them and they're like, it's fun. But you know, I was riding the Propain Rage last year for everything, for competing, and I loved it. Like I still love that bike. I'm gonna continue to ride it. I still have one. And I love it, but it's a race bike, you know? And when you get on something with such a short chainstay, like Zink's bike, like I've hopped on it just the past couple years, you know, and I've just been like, holy shit, like, it feels great. And so I've only gotten to ride it a little bit. And so it's going to be a little interesting going to straight to a big contest. But all in all, it just feels like a big slopestyle bike to me. And, but it still works as a downhill bike. It's still supple on the top end. It just ramps a lot. So yeah, that's my first choice. And other than that, like I don't know, like the doors are open. So if anybody wants to send a test frame, I don't know, I'm down. So,
Okay. Is there anything that like, if you could say like, snap my fingers, you go home and you've got an email from someone who's like, hey, actually, we would like to send you a frame. Who would it be? I'd
be stoked to try out some transition bikes.
Oh yeah?
Okay. Yeah, the Decoy e-bike and their new Bottle Rocket looks really sick.
Yeah.
That's a mainstream brand that's like that's a free ride bike. So be stoked on that. And, you know, I don't know. I'm still really stoked on the Propain bikes. Like I think they're some of the best bikes out there right now, like all across the board. Fun. And we left that deal with no hard feelings. Like they understood, thankfully. And, you know, I'm going to continue to work with them, I think, here and there, like one-off. So, yeah, thanks, Propain.
You think for your e-bike, then that
I
might
love
be the one to keep?
I love the Propain I still have two, so I'm going to run them.
Yeah.
But it's just different. And, you know, I got a Canyon slopestyle frame, which I'm stoked to try like out. The Stitch 720.
Yeah.
And I'm really stoked to get on a slope frame slope bike again, because I've been on dirt jump bikes and I don't know, I can't really ever get used to them. And then I end up not riding as many trails and doing tricks and riding dirt jumps. So I think this will be fun, kind of reset and get back on a slope bike. And I really want to just ride more. I love it, you know. I miss it. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know, I'm excited to just have a fleet of different bikes and just continue to try different stuff out. And for now, like the Zink bike, the downhill proto, I love it. So we'll see, like maybe I'll stick with that, but I'd be stoked to try other stuff out too. And yeah.
I know Robert, our tester, has been riding that vacay a bit, and he's like absolutely loves how fun and playful that thing is.
Everybody said the same. I mean, it's just built by Zink, and you know, he's a pretty playful rider, loves jibbing around, and I think it really has to do with the geo and the like the chainstay length. When it's short, it takes a bit to get used to, but then it just opens up the doors for just flickable fun, and especially when you're doing tricks, it's, you know, helps a lot.
So are you a rider that looks a lot at numbers, like geo numbers, and if you're picking a bike or a brand potentially, that like, do numbers make a difference, or are you like, I'll learn it and I'll just figure it out?
I'm not like the most analytical in that sense, but I definitely understand the numbers. So yeah, but nowadays it seems like bikes are kind of like, most bike companies have good bikes. Like they're all pretty good. So that's all, I don't know, there's little differences, and I'm a pretty firm believer in, you know, we can get on a bike and figure it out and just adapt to it really quick. So it's not like, oh, this is going to make me a better rider. I think it's just slight differences. And I feel like as I've gotten older and paid more attention to those things like geo, it's more fun for me to try different stuff out and like understand, you know, the slight differences in the numbers and the geo. So yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So kind of circling back a little bit to the Kubota stuff and what you want to do, do you have your dream machine from them?
For sure.
What is it?
I love them all. They just make a good machine. Like they don't make anything above like an 8-ton mini excavator. But you know, the 80, we have an 80 on the coast that Kubota, like, thank you Kubota, they like dedicated it to Torta. So it's really helping a lot. And you know, the way that whole thing works, sorry, this is off topic, is like grant money pays for everything. So having a machine like that's kind of there, it saves a lot of grant money. So it'll just add to more trail being built. And I love that machine. Right now I have a U55. So it's a zero swing, so there's no butt weight. So it's kind of made for flat ground work. So it's like, but it's nice in the trees, because if you can clear your butt, it's like like it kind of keeps everything a little tighter. But for me, it's like it's the most my truck can tow. And that's the main reason I have it. But the size just seems to be perfect, and the power. So yeah, that's my dream machine. And I just bought a tilt rotator for it. And so I just own that, and it'll just kind of swap between the machines. But yeah, it's like a pretty perfect tool for, you know, most stuff. Like built the Winoga trail system on it. Like, or the jump line, I mean. And it was perfect size for anything that size. And, you know, working at my compound, building bigger stuff, it's like, it's a good sized machine. Like sometimes it's nice to have a big dog. To kind of hog dirt and stack stuff, but for this, it's like the perfect finishing tool. And for, you know, for trail building, it's pretty dialed. And then I also got a SVL 97-3, which is a big skid steer, like a track loader. And I love it. It's like a mini dozer. So I don't know. It to me, it's just like a dream come true. It's like having this fleet of equipment at my disposal. It's like opening a lot of doors and, you know, just moving dirt and, you know.
So kind of transitioning into opening doors, I know you and some other riders have been kind of experimenting or more focused on like entrepreneurial endeavors, right? Like whether it's owning Airbnb rental properties or starting side businesses. Can you talk about like maybe where that journey started for you in your pro rider career, and what made you start looking at alternate revenue streams?
I mean, I think it's just dreaming, like, and also just the worry of like knowing that this shit isn't gonna last forever. Like there's a time limit, and there's a lot of guys that have done it really well, like talking like Schley and Tippy and, you know, Kurt, and they've kind of found that balance and ridden that fine line of like, having legit longevity, but you never know. So yeah, I guess like I bought a rental property on the Oregon coast, kind of primarily because knowing that Tillamook Off-Road Trail Alliance, like what we're building there, is going to blow up eventually, and then it took another 10 years. But yeah, so I guess this just had to do with like, you know, I started making like decent money, and I wanted to just invest it, and that's just me listening to people smarter than me in my life, like my grandparents and whoever, and it's like, you know, assets retire you, money doesn't. So I was just trying to invest into real estate. So I've kind of played that game over the years, and and it's done well for me, and I feel like it's the, you know, a good path to go down. You know, when you're making money, it's like put it into a good place like that. So younger riders out there, once you start making real money, just think about real estate. That's my opinion. So
and then you're kind of now sort of parlaying this Kubota deal and your passion for trail building also into, I believe, secondary income, right? As whether you're building stuff at Winoga or at the coast, are those sort of like paid gigs for you, or are you just doing those because you're passionate about trail building?
It's like 50-50. Like over the years, like a lot of the stuff we've done, like we had access to a big chunk of private timberland on the coast, and that's like every project we've ever done, any big project has been there. And that essentially was just working for free to keep the dream alive, to do this project. And, you know, I would produce these projects and pay everybody around me. And then I was there, like I make a living off riding bikes. So I don't really care because I just love moving dirt. But, you know, as long as I could pay everybody else to, you know, like from builders and obviously filmers, production crew, then I didn't really care making money. But now it's like, you know, it's kind of 50-50. Like the Winoga thing, like Cody Wilkins, Census Rad Trails, he won the bid. And, you know, we were able to come in a little lower, which pissed a couple people off because of the free equipment. But it's like, you know, we were there to build good shit, not just do another job, you know? It was like kind of a deal where we could finally like bring something to Central Oregon that people want, like give the people what they want. And that was our goal. Like, okay, let's prove a point with this and try and keep it going in the future. So
I imagine you being a local, that was probably more of a passion move.
For sure. So like we made money off that, which we worked our asses off to make that happen. And then, you know, like this year, I think I'll reveal the secret to the Groms. I got permission to rebuild the lair, the big line at the lair, which we've been trying to make happen. And basically I'm doing it for free, which I'm happy to. Like, I just want this like for the kids and for all of us, and to kind of, you know, it's just such a sick zone, and it's just been so neglected, like the big line. So I want to go in and rebuild it, make it a full top to bottom line, and make it like bulletproof, and rebuild the trick jump, and just give, you know, because it would just like hopefully just spark the dirt jump scene a little more here again. And so that's free. I'm not making any money. I don't want to make any money. It's kind of the community service thing. And so I'd say it's 50-50. And for me, you know, this entrepreneurial side of like the building thing, it's like I've just thought about like, what do I want to do when my career slows down, and I just want to move dirt. It's like my other passion, so I love it. And moving dirt will allow me to continue to ride bikes for as long as I want to, hopefully. So that's kind of my mindset. You know, I'm not trying to become a millionaire off of moving dirt. I just love it. So it just is another door open, I guess, for the future, and makes me excited for longevity. Is like, if I can move dirt, I can ride bikes, and that's what I want to do the rest of my life. So
that's rad, dude. That's super cool.
So I guess that's what the door Kubota is opening for me, is to be able to focus on this just a little more. Like, not that I'm gonna stop focusing on riding bikes, like how I am. It's just,
but you're setting yourself up.
Trying to set myself up for the future is like essentially what I'm so excited for, and hopefully I just want this Kubota deal to have some longevity too, and you know, they agree. So hopefully they're in it for the long haul, because I am. And then and I just think like this platform, it just allows for so many cool things to happen, and cultivating all these scenes, and you know, just make the riding better throughout this state, and hopefully, you know, the Northwest. And
absolutely, man. I mean, it definitely seems like the riding in Oregon is improving. I mean, just all the stuff that's happening at Horse Ridge, the Winoga stuff. I mean, even some of the stuff at like Klein Butte, that's getting like the new stuff that's like getting built is like, It
Central
seems
Oregon,
finally like gravity riders are getting what we've been wanting.
for sure. Yeah. And I think,
years.
it just takes so much work, and people don't understand like the back work that goes into getting something approved and doing a NEPA. Like Winoga, that project is like 10, 15 years of trying to make that happen because of the NEPA and the environmental studies and everything, and the grant money and so yeah, I think Visit Bend.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. I think they gave the grant for Winoga, so thanks to them. And yeah, so it's like in Central Oregon, it's like getting good really quick, and that's thanks to Coda, and especially the new blood in Coda. And and then throughout the state, like BlackRock, those guys are pushing really hard, and it's that place has gotten way better. The Oregon coast, like Torta, I think I've said this before, I think it's going to be, it already is insanely fun, but what currently we're working on and what's flagged and ready to get built, it's going to be pretty mind-blowing. I think one of the best places in the US at least to ride a bike, and it's pretty unbelievable. And
I can't wait, man. I mean, the private stuff out there that, we've ridden on together, I think. And
have you been to the public stuff so far?
Not yet, I haven't.
Oh, well, you're going to shit. It's already fun. Yeah.
I hear there's one that's getting built right now. Maybe it was Cam when he was here, we were talking about it. And he's like, I don't know how far in it is, but I was like, oh, maybe I'll just wait till that one's done to go out. That way I can ride all the new stuff. Yeah,
like right now, everything that's built, like Josh and the crew have been killing it all year, because it got greenlit last like March. Yeah. And then it's just a really tricky with the NEPA and everything with birds and whatever. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not that in tune with the biology side of it. Yeah. So there's like places you can build and can't build. Okay. And it's like there's a map, there's like red zones, yellow zones, whatever. So like there's spots where you cannot bring a machine ever. Okay. And then but you can use chainsaws for half the year. And then in the summer you can't use chainsaws, and it's all hand built. And so anyways, it's like,
you kind of got to
but what's flagged right now, like I've flagged a couple things with Josh, and I'm like, we're just waiting till the right time, and we need money for it pretty much to do it right. And, I think the cool thing, the platform that's very unique with Torta is that it's not just Josh building. It's not one crew building the whole entire trail system. It's like Josh wants like flavors from all these different builders from all over. So like so far, like Christian Regal and the Trail Shark dudes, Ollie, they built something, we're trying to get Shire built, like Scotty and Spencer down. And so it's, and yeah, there's Jason Wells, who's already done stuff, Josh, me, and hopefully just more. And so that's what's going to really set it apart, is everything's going to have a different feel and a different, style of building. But yeah, sorry, off topic again. I'm just really excited on it. But what me and Josh started this build, and it's an 80, or what is it? Sorry, not ADA. It's
oh yeah.
It's forgetting the word, but like for the four-wheel,
inaccessible trail.
Inaccessible trail. Yeah. And so it has to be,
a certain pit grade and
it has to be super wide.
Yeah.
So people on four-wheel bikes can rip it. Adaptable trail. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we started that, and Josh and I've had some family stuff going on. So we started it. I've been home this whole time, and Josh is continuing it, but I'm hoping after I get back from New Zealand, I'm going to go there and just hopefully help him finish it. But it's 1.3 miles long, and it's a blue trail. Wow. But the way we started building it is kind of like Winoga, where there's like options all over the place, but it's kind of turned into like the sickest trail ever. And I just talked to Josh yesterday, so it's for a blue trail, it's gonna be like it looks insane. It's gonna rip, it's gonna be safe, like kids can roll through it, but we can rip through it. And there's option lines like A, B, C, D lines like all over the place, so it's pretty exciting. And I think that's kind of
that's the next cool one.
That's the next one's gonna be insane.
Okay.
And
so sounds like you will be spending a lot more time out there at the coast and building more cool stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you still have your Airbnb out there?
No.
It sounded intense. How come? Keep?
I basically learned a lesson. The first house I bought there, I should have never sold it, and I did, like an idiot. And just COVID, got scared, and I was building a house here. And then I bought another house, and it was a lot more expensive, and it was just really stressful. And so I love that place, and I see myself eventually maybe living there full time.
Really?
So I kind of I'm in the market for land. I'm just waiting and sitting. And so essentially I just, realized after 2 houses that vacation rentals aren't my thing, and they're just stressful. And, so I quit. Yeah. Yeah.
Now you're waiting for the time to be right.
Time to be right. I just want to buy land.
Yeah.
Yeah. And figure out, what to do with it. So
right on. Well, let's, I guess, move into, a little bit of the professional career side of things, the riding stuff. What are your plans for the next, 1 year and maybe 3 years out too?
Yeah.
Projects, goals.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to New Zealand in a week for national selection bike, and really excited for that. It's always kind of a harsh, reality check when you go from winter straight to summer. Everybody's ripping there. But yeah, excited for that. And going to Chile in March for a Red Bull project, and then I can't really talk about this big scary project I'm doing, but big scary project this year that I'm really scared about, but excited. So hopefully we'll see.
Your idea scared or something?
My idea, yeah. But it'll be wild, and I can't talk about it at all. But so that's kind of the big focus for the year, and then Rampage at the end of the year. Yeah, okay. And I still plan on doing Rampage this year, and
Yeah. And so in your mind, is Rampage still the Super Bowl of freeride mountain bike events?
For sure. Yeah. And last year was a rough one for a lot of people. And, I left it saying I'm done. I'm retiring from it.
Really?
I was just pissed off with
scoring injuries?
Scoring, injuries, everything. It's nobody's fault. It just was unfortunate, year in a lot of ways. And so I left pretty over it, but after months of thought, I still love it. I love the desert, and I love pushing myself, and the fire's still under my ass. So I still want to succeed with it. So I've committed that I want to do it. And, I was outside of the bubble, so I got to get invited back. So work on that, and I want to keep the train rolling, I guess. And
have you talked to many other athletes, I would imagine you weren't the only one who left with kind of that same feeling. Are others also kind of coming back around? Do you guys talk about it much?
Yeah, we talk about it. I think everybody's on the same wavelength of, something's got to change with the event, and we can't keep using old sites that have been competed on 4 times, and I feel like that just increases the danger factor so much. So hopefully something's going to change. So we'll see. We need fresh zones again. I think the fans want fresh zones again there. So, and we just get pigeonholed into, when you go to a site like last year that's been competed on 4 times, it's like the whole mountain's tapped out.
Yeah.
So my mindset, it's all our choice what we choose to build and do. Like, nobody's pointing a gun at our head and making us do anything, which a lot of fans on Pink Bike seem to think. It's like Red Bull's fault. It's we choose what we want to do and accomplish. When you go there, it's like you look at what you've done in the past, you look at what's there, and you're naturally going to go bigger and want to up it. And I think that's the danger factor with reusing these sites so many times, is everything just gets gnarlier and more built. And it's terrifying. It's fun when it works, but add off what happened with him. It's that's nobody's fault. It was just so unfortunate, terrifying, and it just sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not a big margin for error in that venue.
No.
Right? And that makes sense, right? So you're like, well, we've already come here. We've done this trick or this combo so it's like, if we're gonna have the same score as last year, unless we amplify it and go bigger, which is the natural progression,
for sure. Yeah. So it's a tricky, that event is such a beast, and there's no way we're all friends with the judges.
Yeah.
And us North Americans, we don't pay them off like a lot of British people think.
Really? I have not heard that one.
Yeah, no, everybody there is friends with the judges, and they have the hardest task in the world. I do not ever want to do that. It's tough because it's such a creative event.
Yeah.
Everybody rides the way they see freeride mountain biking, you know? And
and then you just get
so it's an impossible task. So I don't hate them. Like,
by the public, right?
yeah, nobody hates them. It's just a really hard job to do, and I feel like they do their best, and sometimes it isn't fair, I guess. So whatever.
That's judged events, though, I guess.
It's judged events, and Rampage is the ultimate anomaly of judged events. So, you know, it is what it is most years. You know, like you win. I don't know. You win some, you lose some.
That is it, man. So, Crankworks, you gonna do anything there?
No. I mean, I'll go to Crankworks Whistler and do the whip off and whatnot. And I think there might be a couple exciting new events. Just go there. But yeah, that time for me is come and gone. I was a Crankworks athlete for a lot of years and doesn't really do much for me anymore. And so
all right,
nothing against it. Like there's room in the sport for Crankworks and Natural Selection and Rampage and all the fest events. But yeah, for me, it's just not of interest. It hasn't been for a while. But Whistler is Whistler. It's the best place ever. So of course I'm going to go there. Yeah.
So is there anything that Crankworks could offer you as an athlete that would make you want to come back and compete?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's just, you know, Crankworks is awesome for what it is, and it's like in its own lane.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with Natural Selection and everything else happening, it's like I just want to focus more on trying to help build that side of the sport, you know?
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, I enjoy Crankworks, but I'm not, you know, it's so expensive to fly around the world and go to all these things and do speed and style and whip off and, you know, make $1,000 in New Zealand if you win, you know? So it's like not really feasible for me and I think a lot of athletes anymore. And then with slopestyle is like turned into such a crazy sport, and it's like
it's a discipline.
It's like a different sport than freeride. Like when I was competing, you know, in, you know, our era of slopestyle, it was like we were focused on big bikes and little bikes, and we'd do the slope events and Rampage at the same time and film on big bikes, and it was kind of more connected, you know. And now it seems like they've just veered off into their own places and they're completely separate disciplines. Like we cannot do what they do. And you know, it is interesting. I mean, just thinking back to like, you know, I guess those neural disorder videos covered them a lot, right? Like, you know, like the boner logs and like the bear cloth era of just like, you know, doing kind of a little bit more of the big mountain element thrown into some of the lines there and, you know, with drops and such. And it definitely seems like it has changed a little bit more to like the dirt jump side a bit. For sure. And I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like I grew up like, that was before my era. Like, I feel like I got like the tail end of that and competing. And then it just turned into slope style, you know? And at the end of like kind of when I stopped competing, I'm like I kind of retired from it, I guess, in 2019. And, you know, could get top 10 maybe, you know, and then I just fell off. But I was so much more focused on the freeride side and filming and, you know, timing for me really helped with that. Like I got third in Rampage in 2016 and that really changed the trajectory of my career, and started getting invited to, you know, filming like full length films with Freeride Entertainment. And, you know, it just kind of changed everything for me and made me realize that that was like more of my passion, you know? So I kind of had to step away from it, and, but forever grateful that I kind of got away from it, I guess. And it's really cool to see where it's gone because it's insane. Those guys are ridiculous. It is wild for sure. And it's certainly an entertaining spectator sport. You know? For sure. Yeah.
I mean, not that Rampage is, and I would imagine that Rampage is probably the most visible representation of mountain biking to the outside world, right?
I think so. It's definitely gets the mainstream attention for sure.
Yeah.
So gets a lot of viewership. So yeah. I think that's mainly because mainstream fans that don't understand the sport, they just want to see us crash.
It's like NASCAR, right? You just wait for the crash. Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't have a roll cage and a massive
The amount of times I get like, you know, they see a Red Bull hat and they're like, oh, do you do so you're a mountain biker. Like, do you do the Moab stuff? Like that stuff in Nevada? And it's like classic. It's like the number one thing.
Yeah.
Like,
right off the cliffs and stuff?
Yeah. All the crazy, like narrow. It's like, in Moab. Yeah.
Oh, man. How often do you get stopped when you're out? Whether that's like someone who does know you or just someone who wants to ask about Red Bull stuff?
I don't know. It depends. Sometimes, I mean, growing up in Bend, I've been here forever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How about like
quite a
just
bit
at
here.
airports or something like traveling?
Airports sometimes, yeah. I find like more in like Europe and other places, but occasionally, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really like that attention, but I always appreciate it, especially when it's kids, try and give all the time. But yeah.
You ever had a moment where like a person has recognized you and you're either like, I don't want to say uncomfortable or like not wanting it, but like you've just got something else going on in your mind where you're like, I got to try to be nice to this person right now, but I got to be somewhere. I guess
I do that a lot. Yeah. Cause I don't know. I catch myself forgetting that people know us, I guess. And I'll be sitting there. I'm like, why the fuck is this guy staring at me? And I get kind of grumpy, but then I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Catches you off guard sometimes.
Yeah, you're like, is this guy got a problem?
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. If like, do you pay much attention? I mean, I imagine you probably have to, because to an extent your livelihood comes from it. But how focused are you on the state of the bike industry and bike brands and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is right now. It's like what we're hearing from all sides and all different, parts of mountain biking, whether it's like the clothing side, the helmet, goggle. It's like everybody, unfortunately, in the industry is feeling what's happening right now. So you hear it a lot, and, I feel like I'm grateful to be in a fortunate place right now with partners that, I have continued support. And, but yeah, it's something that, there's like, we're kind of under a microscope. Like a lot of these companies are owned by big parent companies, and they're under the microscope. So we also are too. And it's like so much social media focused right now, that, providing, like insights and numbers and everything. And, trying to pitch for projects right now is really hard, and spending extra money, like extra marketing dollars for these companies is really hard, and it's very understanding. So, it's just a funny time. And I feel like a lot of these passion projects, stuff we want to be doing, it's like, you definitely have to get creative and figure out how to do it self-sustainably, at this point. So, yeah.
Do you think, and I don't know if I even necessarily just want to pigeonhole pro riders into this, because I would maybe dare to say that people like myself or employees that work for bike brands can almost get taken advantage of pretty easily because of our passion for riding and sports, right? Like I feel like if we didn't love riding and bikes, that if you talk to a person who had a normal job, working in whatever, right? Like whatever industry that isn't their hobby. And they're like, hey, we need you to step up and do the job of 2 other people that we've let go. You're not going to get paid more. Or, hey, we still need you to create just as much content, but we're reducing your budget by 15%.
Right.
And you're like, well, I want to bring value. I want to be visible. I still want to do this. And I probably would do it anyway because I love it. And, bike industry employees are like, well, I still love riding and I still want to be in the bike industry. So we just keep saying yes to less and less and less.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guarantee, I don't really know, but this seems pretty, probably what's going on. And, I think that's, I don't know. In my opinion, it's like a good and a bad thing, because I think it'll bounce back. And, had a good conversation with Uncle Kurt Boris the other day, and he's been through how many dips and lulls and ups and downs through his career that it's like, he's like, it's just another fucking roller coaster ride, and so it will bounce back, and I'm, optimistic it will, but I don't know. This seems like a pretty crazy one, and it's just, the state of the world, COVID, and the supply demand issues that COVID created and where we are now. It's like, I don't know.
It's taken a while to climb
It's
out.
different for sure. It's bigger, but so.
Yeah, the thing that I always keep coming back to, I guess, is the ridership numbers, right? Everyone says that if you go pre-COVID to today, the ridership numbers are higher than they have ever been, which means there's more people mountain biking than ever. So hopefully once we get through the financial turmoil and oversupply and discounting of wars, that like hopefully mountain biking will be in an even better spot. More trails will be getting built.
Yeah, and it's just becoming, our sport's gotten so much more mainstream in a good way, I think. Like the amount of pump tracks and city jump parks that are getting built all around the world, kind of like skate parks. It's like opening the doors for the masses, you know, like seeing what's happening in the middle of the country, like Bentonville and Dallas and everywhere else. It's like, you know, that's like tapping into markets of cities that have millions of people. So it's like becoming more accessible. And so I don't see why it's not going to bounce back, but you know, I'm not that good.
You don't have the fortune ball, the
macro economy of the bike industry. I'm just kind of here grateful that I get to ride a bike for a living. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, and the other thing that I see is, you know, a lot of the companies have gotten, you know, bought out, swallowed by, you know, conglomerate corporations. And I don't really know. This is another thing I don't really know, but this is my opinion, is like, you know, when they're getting merged and bought by these big companies, they're getting, you know, firing 90% of the staff, bringing in people that aren't from the industry, that don't really care. And they're just looking at numbers and spreadsheets. It like makes sense why it's like, you know, companies like Nuke Proof or whatever are just gone, because they're like, you know, they look at the numbers and they're like, yeah, it's not working, and I don't know. So it just seems like, you know, a lot of the industry seems like there's just these marketing people that don't really know the sport that are in it now, and I feel like that's another thing that, but
do you think, and you know, I hate to say it because, you know, I have friends and know people that work at companies that are owned by, you know, these bigger, you know,
same here.
But do you think maybe as consumers, you know, it's worth them looking at what brands are remaining independently owned and supporting them first? That way the smaller independent brands can be strong and survive, and maybe the other ones are forced to fold, and then that makes for a smaller but healthier bike industry?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say too much, because I think I ride for companies that are, you know, the latter, but I think maybe there's room for both. But I think it's like buying locally, like that could be good. Like maybe look into where you're getting your stuff from, but on the other end, it's like, I don't know. There's no answer. It is. I don't want to talk out a turn.
It's crazy times. Well, but again, I mean, I get it, right? And I'm no economist either, right? But it's like all you can do is, I guess, afford your opinion based on experiences and what we see and know. And obviously what we see and know after being in the bike industry, right, for a long time is like, it's not in a good place or healthy right now.
No.
So, okay. So you are going to be banished somewhere for the rest of your life. Where is it going to be, and what bike are you taking with you?
New Zealand, for sure. And fuck, I don't know. A downhill bike?
Yeah? Okay.
Maybe an e-bike. I don't know. Probably a downhill bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the chairlifts are running?
Yeah, I don't even know what downhill bike, but
just a downhill bike
in New Zealand. I could live the rest of my life doing that.
You'll be all right.
Maybe a machine too. That'd be fun. Yeah.
And build your own downhill trails?
Yeah.
That's, Dude, I've still never been to New Zealand.
It's incredible. I think it's the best place in the world to ride a bike. Like, the Queenstown area is insane. Yeah.
I really got to get there. Yeah. So that is your favorite place you've ever ridden?
100%. Yeah. They're the North Pole, but we're never going to the North Pole again. So, yeah.
Did you just ride on ice?
No, it was a North and Nightfall movie we did, Red Bull film.
That was pretty wild.
It was Arctic desert. So,
that's got to be
was
crazy.
Insane, but I don't think nobody's going back there again. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too expensive.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild stuff. Have you ever been to the Dolomites or to Finale?
No.
Those are two places that are very high.
I had the opportunity one time and then did a contest instead.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck this year. And
thanks,
excited
I appreciate
to
it.
Ride some more of the killer trails you've been building.
For sure. Yeah, hope to just get building more. Yeah.
Right on, man. Thanks.